Good morning, Facebook friends. Hey, it's Melissa with Miller's Rustic Sawmill here in King City, Missouri. And I am hopping on the Essential Stencil page to do some painting today. It's daytime, so that's very different for me. Typically, whenever I've done them in the past, I go live about 8 o'clock at night, and sometimes it's really late for some of you people watching because of the different time zones. So we are going to, hi Cynthia, we're gonna try something different today on my end, and it's 11 o'clock here in Missouri, so I'm gonna give it a shot and go for it and see how many people tune in during the daytime and watch some lives here on the page. I'm going to be using some of the pre-order stencils from Essential Stencil. Hi Erica, hi Melissa. I didn't know how many people I would catch today, so this is my first time doing it in the daytime, and for some of you, I don't know what time it is there where you're watching from. Here it's 11 o'clock my time, so hello. I expect to probably see some names that I don't typically see too. But definitely thanks for tuning in, and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Hi Mimi. Yeah, I'm excited to try the daytime. The daytime works really well for me. So I think I'm gonna maybe do some alternating with daytime and night. So we'll see what works out, but that's, it's kind of exciting for me. So thank you for watching. I'm Melissa, and I am with Miller's Rustic Sawmill. We are located in King City, Missouri. If you're a first-time watcher, you've never watched any of my lives before, let me know. Thanks for watching. If you're new to watching me, just let me know where you're watching from and tell me that it's your first time. You're a first-time watcher. So thanks for joining. Thank you, Susan. It's down, my hair's down. Usually it's in braids. Is my husband. My husband's name is Bucky. For those of you who are first-time watchers, my husband is usually here with me. He's not here right now. I honestly don't know where he is. Which, yesterday he was over in Illinois. So sometimes his job takes him to different states around us. So yesterday he was on the road for like 9 hours, and he took off early this morning, and I'm not sure where he's at. He knows I'm going live at 11. He may pop in, he may not, I don't know. But oh, it's noon in Indiana. Hello. I'm trying to, usually, for those of you that are new to watching me, my husband is usually with me whenever I do my lives, and he is typically the one who helps pick my winners because we give away stencils, and he's also the one that helps read the comments, because sometimes you guys, they go to scrolling through in front of me so fast. I do this on my phone. I don't have a fancy camera or anything like that set up in my shop. It's just my phone, so I flip it around and the comments start scrolling. So I appreciate you guys watching this morning. I really wasn't sure how many people would be joining, and so for me it's always this fear of, I'm gonna go live and there's not gonna be anybody watching, but it looks like there's several people on, so thank you guys for watching for sure. Daytime, it is different. I know some of you are probably at work, so if you catch me on the replay, maybe you can replay it with some sound. But Deb, it's your first time watching. Hi. We get to give away some stencils in the daytime too, so I'm excited about that. And Judy, hi from South Carolina. Hello, Rolana, it's your first time watching. Yay! How many of you have pre-ordered from Essential Stencil? They had this big kickoff where we promoted, and they promoted their pre-order stencils. So if you have already sent in your pre-order, congratulations. Those are going to be shipping out before too long. And but the pre-order, they are still available, you guys. So if you have not pre-ordered, you're going to notice that I do have a link at the top of this video in the header, and I'll put it in the comments too. But I've got, you can follow my link and you can still save money on the pre-order stencils. So, oh gosh, that's awesome. You are dropping off your grandkids at school. That's great that you get to drop off your grandkids. Some of you have already pre-ordered. Some of you have pre-ordered all of the pre-order. If you go to Essential Stencil, they have a whole pre-order section. And those are their new Christmas stencils. They have a whole new section, and you can definitely still save 10% if you go through my link and you want to order. You can still order those. They won't ship out until I think it's the 28th or 29th. And you can definitely still save on those and be ready to get those whenever everybody else is receiving theirs too. So, oh, thank you guys. I see several names on here that I recognize. That's great. I really thought that I might see a ton of new people during the day because most of the time we go live about 8 o'clock at night and here in Missouri. So, good morning from Arizona. Hi, Art and Deb. Hi from Idaho. Someone said I have to slow down on my ordering. You guys, I apologize if I don't get to see all of your comments. I do go back and I always look at them. So if you have not done your pre-order, Janine, definitely use my link and make sure you save on that pre-order. So I do have, if you don't use the link and you just want to put in a code, you can use code MRS2019. So it stands for Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and it's MRS2019. And I will try to put that in here too. I usually just put my link up in the video header. So I'm gonna scroll back up here because I saw another question. And oh, where'd it go? Well, I don't know. I lost it. I saw a question somebody had and I lost it. So anyway, I will definitely, I think I'm going to have to be the one picking winners today. And so if you've not ever won, I try to watch for people's names who have not ever won because I'm not really always good at keeping track of who has won. So some of you I know have won maybe multiple times. And if you watch me and you watch the other ambassadors, your odds of winning some stencils are phenomenal. So Essential Stencil has a lot of people doing these Facebook Lives on their pages. And you guys, your chances of winning are just great. If you're watching me, you're watching Grace, you're watching Heidi, you're watching any of the other ambassadors, because we typically all get to give something away. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to, first time watching you. Hi, Marilyn. You're watching from Oklahoma. I'm going to grab a pen real quick. I was looking if you could see this mess in front of me. How many of you, whenever you craft, just have a mess going on your table? I know it looks maybe really pretty from your vantage point from where you're seeing me because, you know, I set it up and I try to show me and the board kind of maybe a little bit around me, but my table, my craft table is a mess. So whenever you're making beautiful things, I just think that you kind of have a mess going on. Am I right about that? How many of you have a craft table whenever you start to craft or make stuff, you just have all of this stuff sitting out? And I always crack up because I think it looks so nice and like I'm very organized on your end maybe, and the truth is I'm really not. I'm kind of messy as far as when my crafting starts. So I'm gonna grab a pen real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, this way I can maybe write down some comments or questions and I can try to answer them in front of me. And let's see. There we go. Table floor everywhere. Aw, that's awesome, you guys. I am so glad that you are tuning in and watching. I'm so glad that several of you have messy craft tables too. So I have taken my camera before whenever I'm done and showed the space because, you know, looks and our phones, you know, what we show can be so deceiving sometimes. So I just think that crafting is part of being messy, part of making beautiful things. And, you know, I love that. So I'm okay with it. It's kind of one of the times that I've learned to let things go. I've learned to just let it be a mess because it doesn't take very long to clean it up. So anyway, I am going to be using, hi from Dayton. Hi, Jenny. Hi, hi, hi. Hi from Louisiana. I am actually going to be using, I'm going to show you. I'm going to use one of the pre-order stencils. So this one is the one I have in front of me today. And I know for many of you tuning into that my camera is always backwards. So I have an older phone. I'm not all about switching. I'm old school. I would keep this phone. I will keep it as long as I can. I just can't switch my stinking camera. I thought whenever I did an update on my phone, I might be able to be able to flip my camera around. But this is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm using one of the stencils from this set. So this is the set I believe that I'm going to be giving away too. It is in the pre-order, so you're going to have to, the winners might have to wait a little bit to get those. But this one includes 3 stencils in here. And it has, I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna be using one of these today. So it's got the sleigh rides. This one is super cute. Hi from Missouri. I see some people from Missouri. I actually saw somebody from St. Joe. St. Joe people, you are right up the road from us. I'm in King City, Missouri. So this is one of the other ones in this set. So this is super cute too. Farmhouse Christmas. And I love the versatility of these. The one I'm doing today, I'll just pick it up and show you. I already have it taped on my board. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing today. And oh, Sharon, great. So Sharon, you ordered a Project Slaw bundle. I'm actually using one of those pieces today. One of those, if you haven't liked our sawmill page, we run a sawmill business here in King City, Missouri, and we ship out what I'm painting on today. So this is a piece of walnut from our sawmill, and that's what I'm painting on today. I have not done anything to it to prep it. It has been cut at our sawmill, and then it's been planed down. Planed means it's went through one of our machines that makes it nice and smooth. And then I have cut it to the length that I want. So I'm gonna be painting on this today. And whenever I get done, I'm gonna put a clear sealer over it, and it's gonna change the looks of this walnut wood. So everything that I'm painting on is mostly wood from our sawmill business. A lot of people ask where I get my wood or where to purchase wood. And I know not all of you have the benefit of having a sawmill around you, but you might do some checking. You might check to see if there is one around you. Something I would tell you is that you want to make sure to check your wood and make sure it's kiln dried. That means that it is, it's got all the moisture out of it. So all of the wood that we sell to any of our customers, unless it's requested for something else that they're gonna use it outside or it's gonna stay outside, everything that we have is kiln dry. So, oh, you guys, and I saw that Donna, you're still waiting on yours. I'm gonna have to double check your tracking. We do ship out a bundle of these project pieces. So if you're interested in that, definitely go over to our business page, which is Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and you can check out the details on ordering one of those bundles there if you're interested in ordering something that looks like this. I have shipped out several boxes to customers, and most of them all have so far contained walnut. It can actually, contain some other species, but for the most part, most of them, I believe, have been all walnut so far. And if you are somebody who wants to order something like that, we ship a bundle of 5 of these. And they are all one-of-a-kind pieces. They are all different. Some of them might be more rustic than others. Some of them are going to have little holes or different characteristics that that just natural wood has in them. So anyway, that is just something that if you are interested in shipping, we ship out a bundle of 5 of them for $69.95, and that's priority shipping. So typically it takes about 2 days, but Donna, you're right, yesterday was not a shipping holiday. I'm just still shocked it didn't come with your other bundles. So that's just weird to me, but you never know with the Postal Service, right? So hopefully it shows up for you today. So anyway, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to use this stencil, and I'm gonna use it on a piece of our walnut, and I'm gonna get it going for you. So I am hoping that you guys can all see I've got a little different setup. The shipping on that, Christy, we can ship a bundle of 5 of those out for $69.95, and that ships anywhere. So I'm going to be using a little bit of this Waverly chalk paint. This is one of my favorite brands. I really like the Waverly paints. I can buy that at Walmart. So if you haven't bought that before, you can let us know. I wish I watched you more. Oh, you know what? I wanted, Rose, I know you can't hear me, but if there's a way to turn on the captioning, I would totally do that. I know that the captioning can be turned on for anybody that's deaf, but thank you, Rose. I know you know that. So maybe next time I'll try to get that turned on for Rose. So I'm gonna use some chalk paint. And this is the Waverly brand chalk paint. They have beautiful colors. And I'm gonna use some red on this, and I'm gonna use, of course, some green. So this is the red that I have. It's called Crimson, and you can get this at Walmart. I'm also going to use, of course, this Christmas green. So this is Apple Barrel brand, and I got a little bit too much paint, but I wanted to show you. For many of you who are stenciling, I'm gonna push my camera back just a little bit maybe so we can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. For those of you that are new to stenciling, there are so many different techniques. I know for those of you that have watched, you definitely have seen me show different techniques. I like to just kind of briefly go over those for the newbies and the new people who are new to stenciling, because I'm sure that there are some people on. Essential Stencil has a set of brushes. Their brushes are amazing. You will love them. If you do not have them, I would definitely recommend that you start with some of these brushes. Of course, if you have other brushes, that's fine too. I always tell people, I think it's a matter of personal opinion. I think it's a matter of practice. I think it's a matter of just what is comfortable for you whenever you're stenciling. But I can tell you, across the board for me, no matter whether I'm using, I like to use the makeup sponges. This is one of my favorite techniques. I really like the makeup sponges, especially for the smaller stencils. We have a Dollar General in town. I get these at the Dollar General. They're super cheap. I also really like the roller, and the roller is one of my favorite techniques as well. I like the brushes. I love Essential Stencils brushes, but what I'm comfortable with is probably these two. I just prefer, I seem to do better myself using one of these techniques. I use the brushes. I'm not against the brushes. I do use those, and I love Essential Stencils brushes. They're so nice. But across the board, I think whatever technique you are using, you want to make sure you are offloading your paint. You want to make sure that, and by offloading, I mean getting rid of some of it before you go to your stencil. So you want to make sure that you don't have very much paint on whatever it is that you're using. Definitely, if you're using the roller, I'm not going to be using the roller on this today, but if you're using the roller, you're going to want to get some paint all on your roller and then roll it out. Roll it out on something else. Roll it out on a brown paper bag. If you have grocery bags, roll it out on some something that you can practice on. I have craft paper on my table, and sometimes I just will take this and I'll roll it out on my craft paper right in front of me. And also, sometimes I just roll it out on here. Someone just asked me if I've made trays. I have not personally made trays. I have a customer who buys this wood from us, and she makes trays, beautiful trays with those pieces. And I think she has sealed them with something different than the Thompson's water sealer. I think it depends on the use of the trays. So if you have some questions for me and you want to talk to me about some of our wood and stuff like that, I am going to also be going live on our Miller's Rustic Sawmill page a little bit later. So I'll hop on over there this afternoon maybe. Maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I will definitely try to answer some questions over there for you guys about our wood. So that's something I've been going to start doing. But anyway, the key, again, yes, makeup wedges. My husband likes to use the brushes. He stenciled with me. We have a video on Essential Stencils site. And he really likes the brushes. He prefers that. He had never stenciled before. So I had him do all three techniques. And you can go on their page and you can watch that if you would like to. But for this, I'm going to use the makeup wedges. And I'm using the bottom. For those of you who have not used makeup wedges, the very first time I started to use the makeup wedges, I thought you used this long flat side. You don't. You use the end. So I'm going to show you. Of course, I have a little bit too much paint probably out for this. And it's 11 o'clock here, Carolyn. So I'm going to get some paint on this. And you can see I've got quite a bit of paint on there. It does not take very much paint. So I'm going to pounce that off right here on my plate. I'm just going to go over and over and over until I feel like I've gotten the majority of it off. And so you can see right here, this is where I have pounced it off. So I'm going to go to my stencil, and I think I know I'm going to use the red on the words. And, but I think some of my other words, okay, so I'm going to just start on my word Christmas, because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the other words yet. And I am just putting a little bit of pressure on this. Hopefully you guys can see this. But also, whenever I go to get a little bit more paint on my makeup sponge, I'm not going back in here. I'm going right in here to this part that I just offloaded. So you can see that. And then I'm going to pounce it out here a little bit more. And I'm going to go back over my stencil. And I'm just lightly pouncing up and down. I'm kind of holding it at an angle, and I'm kind of pushing on it. I hold mine really close. And I just made a mess on the snowflakes with the brushes. Got to go back to the wedges. I think that the brushes if you just make sure you're offloading. Same with those. I do a little bit of swirling with the brushes, but I always make sure that I don't have very much paint on them. I think that is just the key. You can always go back over stuff. So if you feel like you don't have enough paint the first time, go ahead and put a layer on, and then you can come back over it. If you have too much paint on your brush, too much paint on your roller, too much paint on your makeup wedge, it's possible that it could go underneath your stencil, and that's how you get that little bit of bleeding. So I just, again, I'm going back in here and I'm picking up where I had pounced it off, where I call it offloading. So I don't go back to my big pile of paint to pick up the paint again. And just remember that you can always offload, as much as you want, so it feels like maybe you're putting hardly anything down if you're kind of scared to do it. Oh, I'm freezing. Oh, I don't know, you guys. On my end, I don't see that. I don't know why I'm blurry. I've got a delay. Hopefully that fixes itself. And video is blurry. You guys, I don't know what's happening. I don't see it on my end. So hopefully the video fixes itself. If it's the internet, I have usually a great connection. So let me know. Hopefully I'm unfroze. I don't know what's happening. Freezing up on a lot of people. You guys, I'm sorry. Someone says I'm good here. I don't know. It's hard for me to know unless you guys are telling me. So I keep going out and coming back in. Well, thank you, Robin. Good here. You guys, I hate whenever my videos freeze. That's the thing that we never know. Freezes and words aren't, so there's a delay. I'm freezing also. Mimi, I've never been on in the daytime. I don't know why I'm freezing. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna keep painting and I'm gonna hope that it fixes itself. I don't know why I would have a delay. There's great weather here. Nothing should be going on internet-wise. I don't know. Unless maybe I should try to connect to the internet, because I'm just on my phone. So, okay, it's fixed. Huh. Yeah, it might be Facebook. I'm so sorry. Gosh, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, because just like crafting, I try to say, just keep going. You can fix it. So I'm so sorry that it's freezing on you guys. That's never good. That's never fun. Hopefully you'll stick it out and we'll see what happens. I'm going to, if you can see this okay, red paint and a hair sweep. Donna, after so many children and mini nights craft painting, it just doesn't even matter. That cracks me up. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's Facebook and I hope it fixes itself. Facebook is so weird, so random sometimes. So someone said the picture's bad. Things are not in sync. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a tech head, but I am gonna keep painting. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm just kind of lightly going back over my Christmas in red. So there's a bit of a delay if I would be reading lips. Oh, you guys. Okay. Well, let me know if it comes out of it. Hopefully it comes out of it and everything's okay. Carrie, I am on early. I know, it's my first daytime live. I'm excited. I'm actually excited that there's like over 200 people, I think, watching. So, yay for that. I didn't know how the daytime crowd would be, but it looks like it's good. So, I love daytime. I'm good with that. And, yes, Patricia, just take your finger and swipe those comments to the right. You'll have to do that on your end in order to, see what I'm making. So Sherry, whenever I'm done, I clean my stencils with a disinfectant wipe, again from Dollar General, and I just take those and I wipe them off. So the paint, I will show you, if you stick with me, how that comes off. So I'm gonna do most of my letters. I think I'm gonna do my Christmas trees in red. I think I'm gonna do my Farm Fresh in white. So I'm holding this upside down, but you guys can see I don't have very much paint on here. Oh, thank you, Anita. Thank you, thank you. And I'm just going up and down in a little bitty up, sections, just working my way across these words. And I'm not picking up very much paint again. So I'm glad you guys are watching during the day. I love it. I love it. Daytime actually works really well for me, and we were talking about some scheduling for Essential Stencil, and I know that Grace actually had told me she does a daytime show, and I thought, I would love that. I would love to come on during the daytime, maybe catch some different viewers, and maybe feel like if I go a little longer, I'm not losing people because I've got to get up and go to work in the morning. I know my 8 o'clock lives sometimes go really long. So I always feel like sometimes maybe too long. I like to talk a lot. So, oh, Michelle, you're watching at work. That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. That sounds like something I would have been doing. Closing my door and watching a Facebook Live. You guys, the wipes do work really well. And somebody shared this tip, I'm pretty sure, in my comments on one of my videos. This is a great tip. If you are using multiple stencils or you're doing several projects at once, if you take a wipe and let's just say I'm done with this one and I set it off to the side because I'm not quite ready to clean it, lay a wipe across it so that it stays moist, and then whenever you come back to it, it will wipe off really easy. I know someone shared that tip with me, so I always learn a lot just from your guys' comments too. So I thought that was a great tip. So if you aren't gonna clean your stencil right away, lay it off to the side and lay a wet wipe over it. So you can come back to it later and it will stay, moist, and you can wipe it off a lot easier than if you let it dry. Somebody asked, what is Bucky up to today? Well, he is a log buyer. So he was actually out today. I think he had to go bid some logs and maybe figure out scheduling of the trucks to pick them up. So I don't really know. I haven't talked to him since about 7 o'clock this morning probably. So sometimes he's in really bad service areas and I don't get to hear from him. So I have my red on there and I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna show you this tip too. So this is a great tip. These little makeup wedges can be reused, right? So I'm not gonna clean my makeup wedge. I am, however, going to cut off the very end of this and start over on my white with a new makeup wedge using the same one. So I just cut off the red that I used, and that is, oh, I love that tip. Love it, because I am thrifty and I like to reuse things. So I am kind of a clearance shopper. I like to save money anytime I can on whatever I'm using. So instead of just throwing away one makeup wedge at a time, just cut that off and you can reuse it. So now I'm gonna go into my white, and this white that I'm using is just, it's a matte acrylic apple barrel white that I pulled out today. So it's just, I'm gonna go over my, the Farm Fresh words with the white, and I'm gonna hold this up like this. Oh, some of you still have a bad connection. Darn it. I don't know why, you guys. I don't know what's up with the video today. Usually I don't have any trouble. So I bought the premium wedges. I haven't tried the premium wedges. I don't think I knew there were premium makeup wedges. I don't know a lot about makeup wedges because I had never I've never used them for my makeup. I've used them just for painting. So that's interesting. I will have to check out the different makeup wedges because that'll be new. So those premium wedges must be, I don't know. Mine just say makeup wedges. So I don't know that I have different options here in my town at the Dollar General. I probably would at Walmart or somewhere. So I might have to check that out. Yes, Karen, I agree. The makeup sponges definitely save time whenever you go to cleaning things up. And honestly, I think, so like I have a private group coming to do a private workshop in a couple of weeks. And we are going to do some wooden tags. And I would tell you that I am going to use the makeup wedges because I think that they're just easier for people to get the hang of whenever you're doing a workshop. So that's something that is just, you know, if you're holding any classes, think about, you know, the different techniques. I'm going to let probably, you know, the ladies pick out their own stencils and things like that for their pieces. But I'm gonna we're gonna start with the makeup wedges because I think people just kind of pick those up quicker. So no, I'm not doing an online workshop yet. I am considering doing an online workshop on our Miller's Rustic Sawmill page. But here in our shop, I'm doing a private workshop. So Cynthia, if you're interested in an online workshop, definitely hop over to our Miller's Rustic Sawmill page because I would like to do some private workshops on that page. So we do make the wooden tags. Somebody asked me if I make the wooden tags. We do. And I am like our project slabs, you guys, I have been trying to find a way to price those with shipping and to ship out those wooden tags because I know those are so popular. So we've got, I think 3 different sizes of tags, and the new ones are the small that will fit those minis. So I don't have those. Those are not even here with me. We just cut some of those. So if you are interested in getting some wooden tags from us, I have to go out to the mill because like I said, we literally just cut some of those. So I was gonna try to do a live with them today, but I'm not able to just yet because I've got some other things to figure out. And we have 3 different sizes of wooden tags. So anyway, that's something to check out on our page because I'm hoping to get them on our shop before too long too. But if you're interested in ordering some wooden tags, I'm gonna put together a bundle of those as well. Wood is heavy to ship. And I just feel like if I'm gonna ship something out, there are sometimes things that are just, it's more beneficial in the long run to buy a few more. And if I'm going to ship them out whenever the shipping sometimes is expensive. So it's like I can bundle them together. That's what I did with the project pieces. And it just made sense. So yes, Joyce, I'm going to do those green for sure. Yes, Pam, I'm going to try to show some different things on my live today for the mill. So if you haven't liked our page, definitely go over and like Miller's Rustic Sawmill and follow us for live notifications. I am figuring out some shipping on those wooden tags because I've had a lot of requests for those. So definitely know that if you are ordering from us, I know that there are probably so many places you can order different wood templates, different tags online. Just know if you're ordering from us, I always try to tell people, I try to give them tips and things to let them know to maybe help sell the stuff that they're ordering. You know, if you've ordered project slabs from us, you can be assured that those are not going to crack down the road. They're not going to warp. They're not going to twist because they've been dried. So that is just something that I do try to let people, I try to educate a little bit about our wood in order to help whoever's purchasing it sell it if they're trying to sell it. So anyway, yes, I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do my trees green, and I've got this Christmas tree green. Oh, Kim, go for it. Don't let it intimidate you. You know, I have found that most people actually just, you know, want to come and have fun and hang out with their friends. So a lot of times it's just about the experience that you make it. So whether, you know, you have some hot cocoa and I think that I honestly have not been to any other paint parties. Some of the best times that we have here in our shop are whenever I've had some private people want to come and they don't know what they want to paint, but they want to paint something. And if you look on my page, my mom and my cousin and her sister and a girl that they went to high school with, they all came and we painted some boards last week. And I think other than my mom, I don't know that any of them had ever done anything like that. So just start maybe with a group of people that you're comfortable with. I would recommend. I would also recommend, you know, that you practice with some friends, practice with some family. If you're scared to do a paint party, find some people you're comfortable with and say, hey, you know, I really want to try to do this. I've got to figure out, you know, what I'm going to charge. I've got to figure out how I set some things up. I've got to figure some of this stuff out. So just find some people that you can do that with and pick a project that maybe is really simple. You know, the minis are really simple. The Christmas tags are really simple. They're a simple project. So start with something simple and see what happens. But get some people that you're close with and people that you can ask about prices and get some feedback from and see, you know, just go from there. So I didn't know how to do a paint party. I know Heidi has some courses that you can learn about paint parties. I just started and I kind of just did what I talked about. I had some people that, you know, I wanted to have come in and paint some things, and we just tried it. And you got to start somewhere. So I would recommend starting with some people that you are comfortable with. So I'm using this Christmas tree green on both of these trees, and I'm keeping it simple. You can get really creative with your signs. Sometimes you have some people that want to do that. So I live in a really small area too. So I sometimes tend to think the opposite. I sometimes think that around our area that there are people looking for things to do, maybe on a Friday night or a Saturday, you know, morning. And sometimes they look to bigger cities and bigger towns for those things. And so I think that, you know, because I had that same thought. I thought, oh, you know, we live in a small rural community. I don't know that, anybody's going to want to do anything. I don't know that anybody's going to, want to come paint or pay to paint. And, I will tell you, I have definitely struggled with pricing, pricing your own stuff that you're making, pricing your stuff. Yes, Vicki, this is a pre-order. You can also use my link, Vicki, if you're going to order and you haven't done any pre-ordering. This is a 3-pack. But this green I'm using right now is Apple Barrel. It's an acrylic. And most of the things I do, I use acrylic. And I like the acrylic paints or craft paints. They're affordable. I think that I like that I can have a variety of colors, because if I'm going to pick up different, different paints and I want to do different signs, I feel like I can get pretty creative with different colors, because I can afford to kind of invest in those craft paints a little bit at a time. Now my basics, my whites, my reds, my blacks, some navy blues. There are some that I buy in the larger size bottles whenever I do, because that's tip 2. They have these larger, some of the colors you find yourself using over and over. Buy the larger quantities and have more of that on hand. But I do buy a lot of acrylic craft paints, and I can't say, I tend to, I guess, lean towards the Anita's brand. That's a craft paint. I have a lot of the Apple Barrel brand. I do really like the Waverly chalk paint. That's always a go-to. They have some beautiful colors. I'm also all about trying other brands of paint, because most of the time I scour the clearance sections or things that are on sale, and that's what I look for. So that's mostly what I use. I've done my pre-order. Oh, I know, you guys. You're gonna love the stencils. So there's my green trees. I'm also going to do, so down here in the bottom, these are the names, it says spruce, pine, fir, and cedar. I'm gonna do those words in black, in green also. I don't know why I said black. So I'm going to, you can see, I'm just holding this up. Do I use the same paint? For covering the longboards, if I'm making a porch board sign, I have definitely used some, I've used regular paint. I've used, paint from Lowe's or somewhere that's like an off color that's been, discounted. I've also used, a lot of times on my boards for outside, I like to use a stain to stain those boards. Even in colors, you can get colored stains. So I do like to do that. I try to typically get like an indoor-outdoor paint to put on my porch boards, mostly because a lot of times they're going outside. So I like to use something different for the background of those, and then I'll use the acrylic paints. And then I seal them. I always seal them with a Thompson's water sealer. So I like to seal the boards for sure, even after I'm done. But I do, I use the acrylic paints for sure. I ordered the whole set of stencils. I know, Teresa. I got my stencil box and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I got in on the bonus stencils too, and I have not yet received those. I'm so excited to receive those. But you can see I'm not doing this little line around them. I am going to do that, but I'm going to do it white. So I'm just right now doing my words green. Those are little tiny spaces, and I'm just going back over them, and I'm kind of holding this stencil down as I go. I'm trying to, because it's kind of pouncing up and down. Yes, Kim, the roller works awesome for your porch boards. Judy, our page is Miller's Rustic Sawmill on Facebook. and you can follow us there. I am trying to get better at the shipping stuff. I do have project pieces like what I'm painting on. We have a bundle of those. When do you seal them? I seal, well, you'll see, this is gonna be dry. I'm gonna put a sealer on right here on the video and show you guys what happens to this wood when I seal it. I'm gonna do that here as soon as as soon as I get done painting and talking. But definitely, you know, usually the acrylic paints dry really quick, but I always wait to make sure that they're dry to the touch. I don't know if there's a right or wrong time. I have not ever had any issues. And I typically, you know, if I have a class, we try to spray them before the people leave. So we have time for them to dry, and you know, they just hang out and talk while maybe some other people are finishing up. But we definitely, I've got to look at this, sorry guys. Definitely make sure that they're dry to the touch before you go to spraying them or putting your Thompson's water seal on. You can also buy it in a jug and you can brush it on. I love it. I love that stuff. We use it quite a bit on a lot of our pieces. So how do you do the small? Well, you know, I just don't use very much paint, and I'm just kind of putting, like, maybe a good tip is to put a little more pressure on and hold it down a little bit longer as you go, because I don't always, you know, I don't want anyone to ever think, so this is the same makeup sponge still, you guys. I'm gonna cut my green off because I'm done with my green, and I'm gonna go back to my white for this line. Susan, yeah, you know, the hair dryer, actually, Sherry, that's a good tip too. I've seen people at their parties and stuff use a hair dryer to dry some paint. Sometimes that happens, especially here in Missouri. Oh my goodness, you know, our humidity in the summertime, we have definitely had issues with paint drying whenever it's really humid. Brenda, do you work other than in your sawmill? I don't anymore. I can't say that I don't. I do still do my previous job. I was, I'm gonna lay this down because I've got to do this. I was a marketing rep, so I would pop in and out of insurance offices for a living. I did that for a business owner for about 15 years. And I do that like 3 days a month still. I go to Kansas City and I put in time for like 3 business owners in Kansas City representing their business. And I go in and out of insurance offices. So other than that, I was able to quit my job in April. So we are located in King City, Missouri, you guys. Yeah, it has been, the humidity has been horrible before whenever we've been painting. Just bad, you know. There have been times that we didn't have, you know, the shop closed up and the air conditioning wasn't on, and I didn't even think about it, you know. So you want to talk about trial and error, you guys. You know, try having a paint party and people in here doing projects and their stuff won't dry. Oh yeah, you feel, you know, but you know, what do? It's one of those things that until you do it, you don't know. You just have to learn from it and do it again better, you know? So that's what I've done. I've tried to, anytime that we do something, you know, we try to think, gosh, you know, what could I do to make that better? What could I do to make that different, you know? Jody, I know. Well, that's kind of the point where we decided in April that it was probably a good time to go ahead and quit my other job. And I am, you know, if you would have seen me yesterday, so my face feels really sandblasted today because honestly, I was out at the mill yesterday using a chop saw, and I was helping our guys. We had an order that had to get out, and you know, I was out there running the chop saw for most of the day, helping and helping them, you know, get things ready to load, and making sure that you know, they just need a little extra help yesterday. So that's what I was doing, and I had an appointment to meet a customer. She was coming to look for a mantelpiece. So we have, you know, bigger pieces of wood in our shop and in our out at the mill. And I forgot that I had scheduled to meet with this customer who was coming. And I'm down there running the chop saw, you know, chopping off boards. And oh my gosh, she's like, you know, I look up and I see this customer standing there, and she had tried to call me. You know, I couldn't hear anything because, of course, my phone was in my pocket, and, you know, I was busy. And I look up and there she is, and I was like, oh, shoot. And I had sawdust all over me. Oh. So I wear, I think, a lot of hats. Our son, Carson, who is 22. He just turned 22. Yeah. He works for us. And then, you know, Bucky is around anytime he can be around too. We all wear many different hats. And weird, I've been shut down. Mimi said I've been shut down. Hopefully not shut down totally. I don't know why. Might be this daytime Facebook thing. I don't know, you guys, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I help out a lot, Christy. Hopefully, my video is not shut down. Facebook does some weird things sometimes. Go for it, girlie. You'll do great. Oh, you guys, is someone talking about, that is one of my passions is, you know, whenever somebody tells me that they are going to, I've had some people order some project slabs from us, the bundles, and they tell me that they are going to do, you know, their first paint party with them, or they're going to, you know, have a class, or they're going to start their business, you know, from those. So I always am so excited. That is a passion of mine, is, you know, just encouraging other people to start something, to start somewhere, to, you know, if your goal is to give up your job and sell signs for a living, you know, go for it. I know it's not easy. It's taken, you know, something that somebody said to me the other day that I found so interesting was, you know, we were looking at my Facebook page. My husband and I, we got the opportunity to be on a radio show with our realtor here in town. And we, you know, we're sitting here looking at some different things, and one of the things he said to me, you know, while we were prepping for the questions to do this radio show, he said, you know, you've built quite a great Facebook following on your page. You know, he said, you've got a lot of people that watch your live videos, and, you know, your page seems to be doing really well on social media. And, you know, I said, yeah, you know, it's something that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes a lot of work. It takes effort. It takes research. It takes, you know, sometimes hours at night sitting up on your phone trying to figure out what's going to work for your business and yourself and your family. And that is just something that, you know, I always think it can be so deceiving sometimes whenever, you know, there are people who are just like me. You know, you're in your small town. Maybe you've got some really big ideas, and you might think you're not going to have a lot of support. You might think that people aren't going to, you know, come paint things if you hold something. and that fear tends to just hold you back some. And you know, what I've found is that you just keep working at it. You know, your goals should stay your goals. And if something, you know, that you love and you want to turn that into your passion and your job, you know, you just got to start at little small areas and kind of chip it away little by little. We have been growing and building our sawmill business for 6 years. So, you know, it's taken me 6 years to get to a point where, you know, I could finally quit my job. And that doesn't mean it's easy by any means, because there are some days that I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, what was I thinking? And, you know, I just, you know, sometimes it can get very overwhelming, but it's definitely, you know, it frees me up with our kids. It frees me up to help at the mill, which is where I was needed. It frees me up to do things I love to do. And if you can turn that into your business, you know, don't let the fear of, you know, those failures hold you back, because they just do. And, you know, it's like sometimes I look at how far we've come, you know, whenever he said that to me, and he said, you know, gosh, you know, you've grown your social media. Well, you know, me growing my social media, I've been doing that for about 5 years. It's 5 years of effort. It's 5 years of, you know, looking at other people's pages and seeing what they were doing, and you know, seeing who was successful and how that worked for them. So just keep that in mind. You know, if you're looking at our page and you think, you know, that it all happened overnight with our sawmill business, our sawmill business continues to grow daily, and we are super proud of that. But it's just one of those things. It just, you know, it hasn't happened overnight. It takes time, for sure. So keep that in mind. And someone said I'm freezing up again. Of course I'm freezing up again. Facebook's gonna freeze us up. But I have this ready, so I'm gonna pull this off. And you know, Judy, it could be quite expensive. I wanted to have a paint party. I had used some of the vinyl stencils, and I had used, you know, I had ordered those from somebody local who makes those, and, you know, I realized how much they were, and I think I spent maybe $12 to $15. And granted, whenever I was going to start doing those, I thought, you know, I'm going to try to just pass that cost along to the customer, because you have to, and you have to think like that. But yeah, we'll take this off while I'm talking. There we go. But I found essential stencils. And so something that I have suggested for people is, if you don't have, you know, you don't have a lot of money to invest, if it's your side gig, you don't have, you know, you don't want to throw a lot of money at things that you feel like, you know, you're unsure of. It is scary. But whenever I found the essential stencils, I decided that I would order, it was Christmas time, so I thought I would order a vertical Christmas stencil, and so I ordered the Merry Christmas, and then I decided I would order the Welcome. So I ordered, I think, just those 2 stencils, and I think I ordered maybe, I don't remember if I ordered 2 of each or 3 of each, but I did it so I could have a certain amount of people. And while 3 people, let's say I ordered 3 of each, while 3 people were doing the Merry Christmas, the other 3 could be doing the Welcome. And then we would just share. We flipped our boards, and they just shared those stencils. So if that's something that you're considering, you know, think about maybe what you would like to do. And, you know, if you order the 3-pack, so this pack that I have today, there are 3 stencils in that pack. You could have a paint party with 6 people, and they could all, share those stencils around the table, and just, or you could have a paint party with 3 people. But, it's just however you want to do it. But some of their packaging, it's set up in those minis. Some of them are 3 packs, some of them are 6 packs. So if you can only order 1 pack of the minis, order 1 pack of the minis. Start with a paint party, order a pack of 6, and do a paint party for 6 people. Those 6 people will all be able to trade and use all 6 of those minis. So sometimes it doesn't take a huge investment. It just takes planning on your end that's going to work for you financially. So if you plan it and this is what you're offering, those people will either choose to come paint or they won't. And, they may say to you, well, I wish you had this or I wish you had that. And that's how you start building your business. You do some of those paint parties with that same stencil. You get 6 different people, and maybe you take a little bit of money from that party and you order another set of stencils. So you just keep ordering. So Brenda, my double-sided, I'm gonna seal this, Joyce. My double-sided porch boards, I charge $60 for. So I've seen them higher, I've seen them lower. I set my price at $60. So I hope that helps you. It is backwards, Sally. I know my camera is backwards and I can't flip it. So, but this is what it looks like. And I know you guys can't read that backwards maybe, but I'm so sorry. This is what I'm using to seal it. So this is Thompson's water sealer, and I know the writing on that is backwards too. Someday, maybe, whenever I have to change phones, I won't be backwards anymore. I am going to just pour a tiny bit of this out. And so the wood that I have, you guys, is from our sawmill business. I poured a little too much, but I have it in a little glass cup. And I about knocked it over. But the Thompson's water sealer, you can get that in a jug, you can get it in a spray. So I am going to, since this is acrylic, it's already dry, and just like I had said before, you just want to just touch it, make sure it's good and dry. I don't have any paint coming off. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like finished, because oh my goodness, this is a piece of walnut from our mill. And if you do have a sign business that you're trying to get up and running, or you have a craft business that maybe you're doing some vendor shows, I would tell you that this is something for sure that might take your business a different direction. It's not something you see everywhere around you. So sometimes if you can do something to make your business stand out, I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. Whenever you put this on, you're going to see this wood change, and you're going to see what happens to the grain. It's just going to all come to life, and it's going to stay like this. Even after it dries, it'll stay dark like this. So this is always a really cool part. I love to show people this part. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, how much would I sell this for? I believe I think I had actually, let's see. I think I had $22 on my last one, and it sold. So I think anywhere I would sell this, especially now if I did the backside and it were reversible. Most of the things I try to do reversible things. So I would probably sell it for $25 for sure if it were reversible. I think I could try that and see what would happen. I kind of tend to always go a little higher, so I might even put 30 on it depending on what I did on the back side. Like if I did the truck on the back side, I think I could probably put 30 on it, because that's a little bit more labor intensive to do the truck. So you can see the difference in this wood. It looked really pretty before, and now it's gonna look amazing. So yes, you guys, whenever you're sealing your wood, it definitely makes a big difference in putting on the sealer. Carson, do you need me to sign something?
No.
Okay. My son just popped in, so I thought he needed something.
Yeah. I've got it figured out now.
Okay. All right. Can you use the bigger brush to seal it, or would it be too much sealer on the big brush? You know, I have a lot of sealer. I'm using, usually to seal it, I use a chip brush, and that's just I don't have any in front of me, or I would show you, but they're just cheap brushes that are kind of flatter and wide. Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. So this is what we call one of our project pieces, and I'm going to go across the ends here just because I've got some of it running off. But that is the difference that the sealer makes after you have painted on the live edge and the walnut pieces. Like we have, this is one of our project pieces. We do sell these. And oh, you guys, he left. I was gonna try to have him say hi, but he just walked out. I think he's on a mission. He's probably getting something for the mail, but I'll tell him that you said hi. This is the clear. All it says is clear. So it just says clear. You can get it in transparent, semi, and solid. I've never had any of those, but we use the clear quite a bit on our wood. It just tends to bring out the natural grain, and it pops, you know, the beauty of the wood for sure. So I always think that that's just as much fun as pulling off the stencils. So this is something that it makes a big difference whenever you're using any of the raw wood pieces. So yeah, this I will put probably I'm going to put something on the back of mine. I don't know what I'm going to put on the back of this one, but yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It really makes a difference. I like to show this part off because they turn into very stunning pieces. And do you throw brushes away after this? No, I wash my brushes. I usually have a little bit of mineral spirits or brush cleaner that I will go soak my brushes in, and then I wash them with Dawn dish soap, and then I let them dry. So this will not dry completely matte, Mimi. It will dry. It won't look as wet. This is wet now, but it will have a little bit of a shine to it. Carol, it's backwards because my camera is old and my phone is old and I can't flip my camera on my selfie mode. So I'm so sorry. How will I hang it? So I don't have one in front of me. I'm gonna put a wire tie on this. I'll show you guys how I will hang it. I put, let me go grab one. Judy, I don't know if it's better than polyurethane. I like to use it because it's just kind of a natural finish. It's not as heavy, I feel. It kind of goes on kind of like water. And I don't know. I just like that. It's water-based. It's a water-based sealer. Yes, Susan, you can wash those brushes after you use a sealer. If you don't want to wash those brushes, you can always use something like this, you know, a foam brush, and you could throw that away. I think you could probably even wipe it on with a rag if you wanted to do that too. But yeah, Facebook doesn't let us flip the phones anymore. You know, I have tried to figure out my backwards issue, and I just can't. So I'm sorry. Susan, there is a little bit of an odor to it. Not gonna lie, it's not horrible, but it's a little bit of an odor for sure. So if that bothers you, you might want to wear a mask. yes, this sign could go outside because I've sealed it, and it is definitely for, you know, putting outside. How long until it completely dries? I honestly don't even know. It'll be tacky for a while. I think whenever you use the liquid, it's a little bit takes a little bit longer to dry than the spray sealer. So I don't know if it says on here. I really don't know. That's a good question. I think that it says be sure that both sides da da da. I think it says not to do any kind of test, like a splash test or water test, for 24 to 48 hours. So if you have not what was I gonna say? If you have not done the pre-order, you guys, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Definitely make sure that you are pre-ordering and using the link to save. You can save 10%. I don't know that it's better than Mod Podge. I think if you're gonna have it in the elements, it's probably better than Mod Podge. So if you're gonna have it outside or anything like that, I would definitely say that the Thompson's water sealer. Someone said, how thick? So this slab, it's one of our project pieces that we put in the project boxes for shipping. This one is 5/8 of an inch thick. So that's how thick it is. And sorry, my boots are squeaky on my bar stool. Yes, the pre-orders are awesome. So that's what I use. This is one of the pre-order stencils, and it comes in a 3-pack. If you don't know, this is the 3-pack right here that you're gonna see. That's what I used today. And I get to give away, you guys, I almost forgot, I get to give away 3 stencils. And I have one of the winners' names, 2 of the winners' names. I have 2 of the winners. You've never seen anybody seal anything. Well, good. I sent you a message. Well, fantastic, you guys. Thank you for watching. For sure. So I have one of the winners is Pat Huddleston. Pat, you are a winner. Where do you find stencils for pre-order? Linda, if you go through the link at the top of the video, you can go right to the link to Essential Stencil, and that link is going to also save you 10%. I will also put up my code. If you are ordering and you're just going to the Essential Stencil page, you can use code MRS2019. And you can order through there and save 10% as well. But they have a whole pre-order section. So make sure that if you're going to pre-order, you know, you can still use that link, or you can use my code at checkout and save some money. Thank you guys. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. So Pat Huddleston, Huddleston, is a winner. And for sure, thank you guys all for watching. Linda, there is a link at the header of this video and the title of it, and I'm going to try to put it in the comments as well. So it will be down here towards the bottom whenever I get done and I wrap up this live. So that's one of our winners is Pat. Congratulations, Pat. Karen Meadows, you are a winner also. Fantastic. Congratulations, Karen Meadows. I don't know if you're on here or not. Trish, this is a piece of walnut wood, so yeah, it's beautiful for sure, so there's 2 of our winners. Vicky, thank you. I know Bucky's gonna be bummed. we have a really good idea too for one of our next lives, you guys. You're not going to want to miss it. I've got to make sure he can go on with me. So I don't know. We may try to do it next week. We'll see. But it was all his idea. I'm just going to preface my video in the future for it being Bucky's idea of a Facebook Live. So just so you know, whenever you see the live, you'll understand. Heidi, thank you for putting up my code. Thank you, thank you. I don't want to move my camera. I'm worried that it's going to fall over if I move it. Thank you. Yes, I've already pulled 2 of my winners. You guys, I had where to go? Karen Meadows and Pat Huddleston are 2 of our winners. And love this set. I'm reading some comments, you guys. Congratulations to the winners. Rose Holly is also a winner. I know she's not on, but Rose Holly is going to be our 3rd winner today. So, you guys, I appreciate all the hearts, all the shares, all the likes. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for tuning in during the day. I'm super excited. Susan, you call your son Bucky. That is funny. That is actually his real name. I have people ask me that all the time. That is his legal real name. It is not even a nickname. So I get to make fun of that while he's not here, right? I mean, it's okay. Yes, congratulations to the winners. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching today. I was so excited to come on and do a live during the day. If you have not followed our page, we are Miller's Rustic Sawmill. We are located in King City, Missouri. And if you're looking for something like this to paint on or anything like that, definitely hop over to our page, check us out. We do ship out project boxes of these pieces. And you can do the same thing that I'm doing with essential stencils. You can do it yourself. So we do have a lot of things coming up in the future on our page, and a lot of things happening with our business. So if you want to follow us, we definitely appreciate that. And Judy, thanks for being a first-time watcher. I couldn't wait actually to come on during the daytime. Daytime is great for me, and I feel like I could go a little bit longer. Oh, Dana, you want to see what I used to hang it? Stick with me. Don't go away. I'm going to disappear for a minute, and I'm going to show you that before I hop off. Hold on. Okay, I'm so sorry. Usually my husband is here and helps me too, but maybe we are related, Susan. He's from here in Missouri, just around King City. Most of his family is within maybe a 40-mile radius, I would say, but here in Missouri for sure. So this is our magical hanging trick. We have showed you guys on here before, but this is what we use a lot to hang a lot of our things. This is a concrete wire tie, and it's got this little loop here and a little loop here at the end, and it's very bendable. You can bend it. So that's what I love about it. If you don't get it on perfect, when you go to hang it, you can bend this bad boy and make it work. So I just kind of will take this. I don't have my stapler with me either, but I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna staple it up here onto this with a heavy duty Stanley stapler. Love that stapler, not just because we like Stanley tools, but it is, we tried some of the other staplers and they didn't work that well. So I put these on here. You can get these at probably Home Depot, Lowe's, any of your big box hardware stores, maybe your local hardware store if you have one. They are called wire ties. And you can get I guess these are actually specifically called bar ties. They are used in concrete work to hold the rebar together. So they're very stout, very strong, but yet they're very flexible and bendable. And I like that they get your hands a little dirty, so be prepared for that. But so because I'm gonna make this a reversible sign, I'm gonna do something on the back. I would staple this right up here. And then whenever I get all done, I'm probably gonna cover up my wire a little bit with some ribbon and maybe some raffia or something like that, just so that it's not showing. But they work great on the back of things, just because, like I said, you can kind of bend them to fit whatever you need them to fit. And then if you're hanging and it's not quite straight, you know, you can adjust the top part of it to make it work usually pretty well. Megan, I've never had one break in the middle or break in half. I haven't ever really tested it, so probably would just, I'm sure if you flexed it enough, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it might snap. I really don't know. I'm gonna put it right up here on the top edge of this is where I will put it. And only because I'm gonna make this reversible. And I did say staples, so yes, they're rebar ties. Yes, Cindy. I would use a stapler, like a hand stapler, not, you know, it's a heavy duty stapler, and they take the bigger staples like this. If you have an electric stapler that's for bigger projects, it would be a heavy duty stapler. So you couldn't just use your regular, of course, paper stapler. That's not gonna work. But your heavy duty stapler, and I would staple it right on the top up here, and I would make my staples go in those little holes, one part of it in and one part of it out, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can find my stapler and I'll show you. Hold on. I know I have a stapler, I gotta find it. Actually, I found it. It was sitting right on my table. So this is what I'm talking about, like this. A big heavy duty stapler, kind of like this. So yes, we use that for a lot of our projects, and they work really well. They're very, like I said, they're very forgiving. So I would just take this, and hopefully I'm strong enough to do this. I should be. But I'm gonna make sure that one part of my staple goes in this hole, and on this wire tie on the very top part of my thing, and then the other part will go out of it. So let's see if I guess I should probably make sure I'm kind of at least partially in the middle. Donna, you're looking at what I made today. If you can see my project, I'll hold it up for you in just a second and show you. I'm getting ready to put this wire tie on. And yes, I will hold it up. So I'm gonna try to staple this on here, and I'll show you guys. If you're not comfortable doing it, you might have someone help you. I just gotta get it at the right angle so I can get my stapler in there. So there we go. And I would probably have to hammer that down a little bit, but you can see that I've got that in, hopefully you can tell. I've got a staple in one part of the loop and outside of the other. And I didn't put enough pressure on it, so I will just hammer that in with a little hammer. And then I'm gonna take and do the other side. And then I will have a hanger on it. And that hanger I can take and I can put ribbon on it, I can put raffia on it, I can do, you know, I can dress it up, I can hide it. Well, that one didn't work out so well. I'm not always the best at putting enough pressure on that. So I'm gonna pop that staple right out of there because I kind of messed that one up. But it does work really well. And new watcher here, I can't actually see what you're doing because of the comment thread. Carol, take your finger and swipe those comments to the right. They should disappear for you. So that comment thread, you can either have it on or off if you didn't know that. So I am stapling on a wire tie, which is how we hang a lot of our signs. So I'm gonna try this again because I didn't get it in there very well. And again, I messed it up again. Third time's a charm, right? Yeah, but see, you guys, that's what I mean. Nothing is ever perfect. So you just got to keep working at it. I'm going to get it this time. Third time is going to be a charm, and I'm going to get it in there. I'm going to move my wire tie maybe. It didn't like that spot so much. So let's do this again. There we go. I did it. See, third time. So I don't know what I'm going to put on the other side, but so there is my wire tie. And you can see I didn't have enough strength really to get those all the way in there. Normally, I would probably stand up and put a lot of pressure on that, but, oh, you love the pumpkin behind me? Thank you. I will just take and I can hammer these in with a little hammer. I'm just gonna take, you know, probably my son's hammer, and I will hammer those down a little bit into the wood so that they're a little bit more flat. And then I will take this and I will dress it up. So this is what we did today. And you can see I put this finish. You can kind of see if I tilt it just right that it's starting to dry. And then this is what the backside looks like, you guys. So this is what it looked like whenever we started. It looks like this because I finished it with Thompson's wood sealer over the top after I got done. And if you like this piece and you're interested in ordering some project pieces, hop on over to Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and you can message me there and we can get some stuff going for you if you want to order something like that. So, will the hanger rust? Kathy, that's a really good question. I have no idea, honestly, that I don't know. I mean, I guess if you had it, if you're hanging it outside, you might have to redo your hanger. It might rust just because it looks like it's, you know, steel, or I don't know what it is, exactly what kind of metal it is, but it's, you know, it's very possible that it might rust outside. So you might have to do it, you know, replace it if it gets really bad. I am going to try to cover it, and my guess is if you wanted to spray paint your wire ties, that's something I've never thought of, but you know, you could probably get a can of Rust-Oleum paint and paint these black with some spray paint. I have some of that. I think that is a really good idea. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I will probably lay out all of my wire ties and I will probably spray them with some Rust-Oleum paint just to seal them so that maybe they won't rust. So thank you for that question. Sometimes those questions just spawn things that I haven't even thought of. So yes, you're right, Sue. Rust does add to the character for sure. But I kind of like the idea about painting the wire ties, right? It is a great idea, isn't it, Vicki? I hadn't even thought of that. You had a hard time with the Thompson's wood sealer. It made spots on my project. Oh man, I don't know. I've never had that happen. I'm not sure if did you shoot. You guys, I just got kicked off, and yes, I think something happened on my end and I don't know what it was, but I guess that's a sign. I will take it as a sign. It's time to get off of here. Jill, there you are. I can see you, but I don't know if you can see me. I know my phone totally just froze up, but anyway, I think you were, I was trying to talk to Jill about what happened with the Thompson's water sealer. You guys, I just kept talking I was sitting here talking and I'm like, oh, it's gone. My video is gone. So anyway, yes, Jill, I know you said that you had some spots on yours, and I have never had that happen. So I don't know what happened. If you have the same product that I have, I don't know what might have happened with that. I know one thing that I will tell you too is that if you have some paints and going into winter time, paints, your sealers, things like that, this is a good thing to know, is to make sure that you're keeping that stuff in somewhere where it's not going to get frozen. So, with your temperatures varying in the fall and into the winter, just try to make sure that you're keeping that stuff in a good spot, that it's not going to get ruined through the winter. Because sometimes we don't always think about those things. Sometimes if we're doing a party or something, or you're mobile, maybe you think, oh, I'll just leave my stuff in the car and I'll unpack it all tomorrow. Well, if your temperatures get really low and those paints and stuff freeze, you don't want to have all of your product ruined. So that's just another tip for those of you. Oh shoot, you guys, I see a lot of people that are having trouble with the video. I don't know, other than Facebook trying to shut it down. Somebody said earlier that if you're on over an hour or something, that they will do something to your video, or slow you down and put delays in and stuff like that. I really didn't know that, honest to God. So I try to keep my videos are usually never an hour, just an hour. So I apologize. For those of you that have been having trouble, I did pick winners. Karen Meadows, Rose Holly, and Pat Huddleston are my 3 winners, and they are going to win the pack that I used today, and that was one of the pre-orders. So out again on my end. Shoot, I think it was me, you guys. I think that was all me this time. So something happened, and maybe next time that I do a live during the day, I'll try connecting to our actual internet or something different. I don't know. May do a little bit of research, because I don't want my video to be interrupted or blurry. I know that's annoying. So anyway, I do want to thank all of you for hopping on at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. I had no idea I would have so many people watching or interacting. So I think it's great. So I really appreciate you being on. I appreciate the questions, the comments, all of the likes, all of the hearts, all of the shares. How many can you do with a quart of sealer? Oh my. I don't know. You can see that I poured out, I'll show you how much I poured out. I poured out this much in this little bitty glass cup. I use this for my clear sealer. And I didn't use hardly any of it, so I'm going to pour it back in there. Karen, if you will comment, all of my winners, I'm going to put your names in the comments. Essential Stencil will reach out to you. You can feel free to comment winner with your name and your email as well in the comments. So if you will comment yourself, Karen Meadows, Rose is deaf, so I know she can't hear me, and I'm going to have to comment for her, and they will reach out to her. And Pat Huddleston, if you will comment and put your name and email and winner, and just I'm gonna let them know who my winners are today too. So they will know that from my end and should reach out to you as well. So okay, thank you, Sue. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for watching during the day, you guys. Thank you for the shares, the hearts, the likes. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit today on a Tuesday, and thanks for sharing the love on Essential Stencil. I'm going to hop off of here. If you haven't followed our business page, definitely go check us out over on Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and you can, if you have any questions about our business there, or you would like to order some of these pieces like this, we can work that out over there. And definitely keep watching. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys all have a great Tuesday.